I'm going to die in a rest stop bathroom. Not in the bathroom. I need to be specific because specificity might be the only thing keeping me sane right now. Something came out of the bathroom 4 minutes ago. Something that's been humming a lullaby I somehow already know. And it's walking toward me, slowly, like it has nowhere to be, like it knows I can't leave. I'm behind the counter. The lights are on. The highway outside is empty. And the thing in the hallway is getting closer. So I'm going to talk. Fast. Because if this is the last thing anyone hears from me, I need someone to understand what Rest Stop 33 actually is. And why, when you're driving at 2 a.m. and your gut tells you not to pull over, listen to your gut. Your gut is smarter than you. My name is Ethan. 9 months ago, I was sleeping in my car behind a Wendy's with $11 to my name and a divorce so fresh the ink was still wet. Now I make $41 an hour watching a building that exists on a highway that doesn't. Let me explain. Here's something nobody tells you about rock bottom. It's not a moment. It's a zip code. You move in. You unpack. You start recognizing the neighbors. I was 31, divorced, fired from a warehouse for showing up destroyed one too many times. I'd burned through every couch and spare room my friends had to offer, and the Honda Civic wasn't a choice. It was what was left after all the choices ran out. I found the job on a corkboard in a laundromat, not online. A physical index card with a thumbtack, handwritten, like someone posted it in 1987 and it had been waiting there specifically for whoever was desperate enough to take it. Night attendant, Rest Stop 33, 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., $41 per hour. Must be comfortable with silence. Must follow instructions exactly. 41 an hour. I did the math on a gas station receipt. That's 85 grand a year to babysit a rest stop. My first thought, drug front. My second thought, I don't care. No phone number, just a hand-drawn map on the back. My GPS couldn't find the address, but the map led me down a county road I'd driven 100 times without noticing the turnoff. And that's when I found it. Interstate 6. 4 lanes, fresh asphalt, streetlights every quarter mile, and completely, aggressively empty. 20 minutes of driving without seeing a single car. Not parked, not moving, nothing. Just me and the yellow line and a road that went on forever. The rest stop appeared like something from a dream you can't quite remember. Low concrete building, buzzing fluorescent lights, 2 gas pumps from the Nixon era, a sign, Rest Stop 33. A woman named Patrice was waiting inside, mid-50s, reading glasses on a chain. The calm of someone who stopped being surprised by anything a very long time ago. She poured me coffee and slid a laminated card across the table. "Read this, out loud. Every word," she said. So I read it. Rule 1. Shift is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Arrive at 10:45, not earlier. If you show up before 10:45, stay in your car, headlights on, doors locked. Don't turn the headlights off for any reason. Okay. Weird, but whatever. Maybe there's wildlife, bears or something. Rule 2. Travelers will stop at the rest stop. Most of them are real, some of them are not. I looked up at Patrice. She didn't blink. I kept reading. Rule 3. If a traveler asks where they are, tell them Rest Stop 33, Interstate 6. If they say there's no Interstate 6, agree. Tell them they're on Route 11 heading east. They'll accept it and leave. Wait, what? Why would I lie? And why would they just accept it? What kind of person asks where they are and then accepts a fake answer? The kind that isn't a person, apparently. But I didn't know that yet. Rule 4. The women's restroom is out of order between 1 and 4 a.m. If someone insists on using it, log their description in the green notebook. You probably won't see them again. Probably won't see them again. Just sitting there on the card, typed, casual, like it said, probably won't need an umbrella. My hands were getting cold. Rule 5. At exactly 2 a.m., the payphone outside will ring. Don't answer it. It rings for 4 minutes. If it goes past 4 minutes, unplug the coffee machine immediately. I actually laughed, out loud. Unplug the coffee machine? What does a coffee machine have to do with a payphone? Patrice just said, "You'll understand why." That sentence. I want you to sit with that sentence for a second. You'll understand why. Not, I'll explain. Not, here's the reason. Just, you'll see. Eventually. When it's 2 a.m. and you're alone, and the phone won't stop ringing, and the coffee machine starts doing something coffee machines shouldn't do. Rule 6. A man in a brown jacket shows up between midnight and 1 a.m. Black coffee, table by the door. Doesn't speak. Don't speak to him. Don't look at his hands. Don't look at his hands. I read that 3 times. Don't look at his hands. What is wrong with his hands? Why specifically his hands? What are his hands doing that I need to be warned about? Rule 7. If the parking lot lights die, kill every light inside. Sit in total darkness. Don't look outside. Lights come back in 9 minutes. If they don't come back in 12, check the emergency page. At this point, I'm not even processing anymore. I'm just reading words and filing them under things that shouldn't be real, but apparently are. Rule 8. There is no Rule 8. If a Rule 8 appears on this card that wasn't here during training, leave immediately. A rule about a rule that doesn't exist but might show up. My brain did that thing where it tries to divide by 0 and just goes quiet. Rule 9. Between 3 and 4 a.m., you might hear a child singing outside. There's no residential area for 60 miles. There is no child. I set the card down, picked it up, set it down again. There's no child, I repeated out loud, like saying it would make it make sense. Rule 10. At 5:45 a.m., check the women's restroom. If it's empty, good shift. If it's not empty, don't go in. Close the door. Call Patrice. I put the card on the table. I looked at Patrice. She was watching me the way a doctor watches someone processing a diagnosis. "What the fuck is this place?" I said. "A rest stop?" Rest stops don't have rules about things pretending to be children. This one does. The guy before me, Derek. What happened? She told me. He answered the payphone at 2 a.m. She found him paralyzed, with the phone cord draped around his neck like a scarf. Awake, aware, crying, unable to move a single muscle. He's in a care facility now. Brain works, body works. He just can't. Like something pressed pause on his existence. I stared at the card. $41 an hour. Honda Civic. $11 in my account. I'll take the job. Night 1. Nothing happened. But nothing happened the way a held breath is nothing. Technically silent. Technically still. Technically fine. while every cell in your body screams that something is about to go very wrong. The rest stop at night was the loneliest place I've ever been, and I've slept in a Wendy's parking lot on Christmas, so the bar is high. The highway beyond the lot was dark, not nighttime dark, hungry dark. The kind of dark that feels like it's leaning against the windows, waiting for you to step outside. Night 4. I was starting to think Patrice was full of shit. The rules were paranoia. The job was easy money. Then night 4 happened, and I met my first non-person. Woman in a sundress and sandals. February, 12:30 a.m., 26 degrees outside. She walked in barefoot on frozen asphalt like it was a beach in July, and she was smiling. Not a creepy smile. That's what got me. It was warm, genuine. The kind of smile that makes you want to help someone. That's how it works, I think. It wears something you trust. She asked where she was. I said the lines, word for word. She stared at me for 10 seconds, and the smile didn't move, but the thing behind the smile did. Her eyes rearranged, cold, mechanical, like watching someone swap lenses on a camera, calculating whether I was useful. "Thank you," she said, and walked out. No car in the lot, no footsteps after the door closed. She stepped onto the highway, and the darkness didn't just swallow her. It reached out and took her, like a hand closing around a coin. I stood at the window for a long time after that, longer than I should have. So, here's what happened inside my head for the next 10 minutes. I'm standing there gripping the counter like it owes me money, and the only word my mouth can produce is fuck. Just fuck. Fuck. What the fuck? Holy fuck. What in the actual fuck just happened? Did she just... No. Bullshit. Am I high? Did someone drug me? Is this a psychotic break? Is this what a psychotic break feels like? Because a woman just walked onto a highway and the darkness ate her. And I'm standing here in a polo shirt making $11 above minimum wage, and what the fuck? I splashed water on my face, slapped myself, checked to see if I was still in my car dreaming. I wasn't. Night 9. A trucker came in shaking. Big guy, tattoos up both arms, hands like dinner plates. The kind of man who looks like he's never been afraid of anything in his life. He sat at the counter and couldn't hold his coffee cup still. Brown liquid sloshing over the rim onto his fingers. He didn't notice. "There's something walking on the median," he said. "I passed it 3 miles back. Tall, thin, moving alongside my truck at 70 miles an hour. On 2 legs, keeping pace, like it was out for a jog." I didn't say anything. Rule 2, don't ask. "It was smiling at me through the passenger window," he whispered. "For 3 miles. His eyes were wet. This man, this giant, tattooed, spent his whole life on the road man, was trying not to cry in a rest stop at 1 a.m. That scared me more than what he was describing. Because if this guy was shaking, what chance did I have? He left. I watched his taillights disappear eastbound, and I noticed something I wished I hadn't. About a 1/4 mile down the highway, just at the edge of where the streetlights gave up and the dark took over, there was a shape standing on the median. Tall, thin, perfectly still. And even from that distance, even with the bad lighting and my shitty eyesight, I could tell it was facing the rest stop. Facing me. My legs went. Just gone. I grabbed the counter on the way down and sat on the floor behind the desk with my back against the wall and my heart doing something that probably wasn't medically safe. I kept thinking, it followed him here, and it waited, patient, like a dog sitting outside a grocery store. And now it knew where I worked. I didn't look out the windows after that, not at night. Night 15. I looked at the brown jacket man's hands. Half a second, reflex, the kind of stupid glance your body makes before your brain can scream, no. I wish I could unremember it. They weren't hands. They were hand-shaped things with too many joints bending in directions that broke geometry, moving constantly, tiny adjustments, like they were practicing being hands. He left an index card next to his untouched coffee. Don't do that again. I didn't. Night 22. The child's singing started. 3:14 a.m. A little girl's voice, singing something slow and tuneless outside the building, not from any direction, from everywhere, like the air itself was humming. Sweet, small, the kind of voice that makes you want to open the door and check. There is no child. There is no child. There is no child. I said it out loud 3 times, sitting behind the counter with my eyes closed and my fingernails digging crescents into my palms. The singing lasted 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And it got closer, circling me, testing how close it could get before I broke. I didn't break. But did I cry? Yeah, I did. A 31-year-old man sitting on the floor of a rest stop in a company polo, crying silently while an invisible child sang. If my ex-wife could have seen me, she would have felt so validated. But honestly, if you heard a little girl's voice coming from nowhere at 3 a.m. on a highway that doesn't exist, you'd cry too. You would. Don't lie to me. That kind of thing doesn't just scare you. It rearranges something behind your eyes that never goes back to where it was. Okay. Let's continue. The 2 a.m. phone rang every night. 4 minutes, 16 rings. I never answered. But on night 63, it didn't stop at 4 minutes. Ring 17, 18, 20. I yanked the coffee machine plug. And I understood why. Because even unplugged, it started breathing. A wet, rhythmic pulse. And from the spout, something dark dripped onto the counter and spelled out words I won't repeat. But it sounded like my mother. And my mother's been dead for 4 years. Shit. I said that out loud, and now I need a second. Right, moving on. 3 travelers went into the women's restroom between 1 and 4 a.m. over 9 months. I logged each one in the green notebook. The first was a college kid, backwards cap, earbuds in, waved me off when I pointed at the out of order sign. "I'll be quick," he said. He wasn't quick. He wasn't anything. I checked at 4:01. Empty restroom. His car sat in the parking lot for 3 days before it disappeared too. The second was a woman in a business suit, exhausted, barely looked at the sign. I stepped in front of the door. "Ma'am, it's out of order." She looked at me with the tiredness of someone who had been driving for 1,000 years and said, "I don't care." She went in. I heard the door lock. At 4:01, empty. Her briefcase was on the counter. Inside, a photo of 2 kids and a note that said, "Almost home." I couldn't sleep for 3 days after that one. The third was a man who didn't speak at all. He walked past me like I was furniture, like I wasn't there, like nothing was there except the restroom door and whatever was waiting behind it. None of them came out. The restroom was spotless every time I checked. No bodies, no blood, no sign anyone had entered. Just clean tile, working sinks, and a mirror that sometimes, reflected something standing behind me that wasn't there when I turned around. I stopped checking the mirror. Month 7. The highway broke. A man stumbled through the door at 11:45 p.m., drenched in sweat. Behind him, a woman. Different car, different direction, same look in their eyes. The look of people who have just realized the world isn't shaped the way they thought. "The road loops," the man said. He was gripping the counter so hard his knuckles were white. "I've passed this rest stop 4 times. The mile marker's reset. I can't get off." "My GPS died 2 hours ago," the woman said. She was calm. Too calm. The calm of someone who's already accepted something terrible. "My phone says it's Tuesday. When I got on this highway, it was Sunday." I opened my mouth. Rule 2 said don't engage, but these were real people. Terrified. Trapped. And for the first time in 7 months, the rules felt like they were protecting the wrong thing. "I'm sorry," I said. "Can I get you some coffee?" The man slammed the counter. "I have 2 daughters at home. They don't know where I am. Nobody knows where I am." Then every light in the parking lot went out. Not flickered, not dimmed, erased. Like someone had deleted the concept of light from outside the building. The darkness that pressed against the windows wasn't the absence of something. It was the presence of something. Heavy. Thick. Watching. Rule 7. I killed the interior lights. The rest stop went black. "Get on the floor behind the counter. Both of you, now." The woman grabbed the man. They dropped. I crouched beside them. "Don't look outside," I whispered. "Whatever you hear, whatever you think you see, do not look." The man looked. He turned his head toward the glass doors, and the sound that came out of him wasn't a scream. It was deeper, older. The sound a human makes when they see something their brain was never built to process. "They're in the parking lot," he choked. "Hundreds. Standing in rows. All of them looking at us. All of them. Oh God. All of them have the same face." "Stop looking." "It's my face," he whispered. "They all have my face." The glass fogged. Every window, every pane, simultaneously. From the outside, and in the fog on the front door, drawn by a finger, or something shaped like a finger, 3 words appeared. "Let us in." The woman was praying. The man had stopped talking. I pressed my back against the counter and stared at the ceiling and counted seconds, because counting was the only thing I could control. 9 minutes, 540 seconds. The longest 9 minutes of my life, and I once sat through a custody hearing where my ex-wife's lawyer described me as functionally absent. The lights came back. The fog vanished. The lot was empty. The travelers left, together, eastbound, practically running to their cars. The man stopped at the door, looked back at me, and said something I think about every single day. "It's not keeping us out. It's keeping us in." I never saw either of them again. Their cars aren't in any database. Their names don't come up in any search. It's like they drove into Interstate 6, and Interstate 6 ate them. I wrote the shortest entry of my 9 months in the green notebook. I don't think they got out. Which brings me to now. 4:47 a.m. 73 minutes until my shift ends. 5 minutes ago, the women's restroom door opened on its own. I checked at 4:01. It was empty. Something went back in, or something new came through, and now it's humming. A lullaby, slow and sweet, and so beautiful it makes me want to cry. It's coming down the hallway, bare feet on tile, getting closer, and I recognize it. That's what's breaking me. Somewhere in my brain, in a room I didn't know existed, this song is already playing. My body is responding, shoulders dropping, breathing slowing, eyes wanting to close. It wants me to sleep. The rules don't cover this. I called Patrice, no answer. Called again, nothing. I opened the green notebook to the last page. Emergency instructions. 9 months, and I never needed them. Turn on every light. Stand in the center of the room. Close your eyes. Say, I am the attendant. This is my shift. You are not welcome here. Repeat until dawn. Do not stop. If you stop, it will answer. You do not want to hear what it says. The footsteps are in the main room now. The air is thick and warm and smells like earth and honey and something underneath the earth that honey has never touched. I'm turning on every light. I'm standing up. I'm closing my eyes. I am the attendant. This is my shift. You are not welcome here. I am the attendant. This is my shift. You are not welcome here. I am the attendant. This is my shift. You are not.
This is a message regarding the night attendant position at rest stop 33. The position is currently vacant. $41 an hour. No experience necessary. Must be comfortable with silence.